everyone. Come on in and have a seat. Have a seat. Because yes, we are here doing another recap review of the Crystal XO video interview with Chris. Y'all told me to go watch it. Y'all told me to go watch it. I watched it last night. And the video was long, so you know what? I watched most of it. I did a lot better this time, y'all. I watched most of it. I watched most of the interview, and I don't even know if I could call it an interview no more. I don't know if I could call it an interview no more because it was more like a brawl. But you know stuff's going to get ghetto as soon as Jessica sends her surrogates. I told y'all in my last video I done figured out this clan. I done figured out the clan of who these roles are, these people in Jessica's life. And let me tell you, Maurier pulled up on Chris's video, hijacked the video, made it all ghetto. It was going good. It was going just fine until Mario started dropping down in the chat talking about, put me in, coach, put me in. I'm ready to throw some jabs for you. I'm ready to throw some jabs. And so Mario was itching to get in on that interview. So Crystal XO, you know, Crystal XO likes to keep it classy. She likes to keep it classy. And let me tell you, it got out of hand. It got a hand a couple of times. And she was like, what in the ghetto messy Maurier is this? Woo! This whole interview was a hot, messy Maurier. It was a hot mess. He lived up to his name. He really lived up to his name. And let me tell you something. Jessica's surrogates did what they do best. And guess what Mario wanted to have? Mario wanted to have court, y'all. Mario put Chris on the stand. And he said, we about to have another trial. They love to put people on trial. And his accusation is that Chris is a big liar. And y'all know I've been calling Messy Maurier a liar all season. I said, well, ain't this the pot calling the kettle black? I said, wait a minute. Are we going to have a show off? Are we going to have a show off of who is the biggest liar? Who's the biggest liar between Messy Maurier and Chris Najee? Is that what we're going to do? Well, that's what we're going to do, y'all, because Maurier wants a trial. Maurier wants a trial, and we're going to give him one here today, y'all. So we're going to go over some points of this video, a couple of segments of this video, and we're going to be marking who told the biggest lie, and we're going to see at the end who is the biggest liar. So in one quarter, we're going to have Maurier. Maurier has come in here. I don't know, it looked like he calling in from his jailhouse. Like I said in my last video, he's the lookout guy. It's so funny because I was calling him the mole in my last video, and I look on this video, and so is Chris calling him the mole. He was absolutely the mole. But anyway, the mole, the snitch, the lookout person, whatever you want to call him, looks like he's calling from jail. So maybe I should start calling him the new jailhouse lawyer. Where the hell is Maurier? Is that graffiti on the back of the wall? Somebody done scraped up a wall. Is Maurier in the jailhouse? Did Jessica throw him under the bus and let him take the fall for all this? Because Jessica in her interview, as you can see, Jessica didn't get riled up. Jessica did not get riled up in that video she had with Crystal XO. But you know what she did? She sent Maurier over here to do this dirty work for her. And Chris said another thing in the video earlier. He said that Jessica got a PR person and she be sticking her on people too. Chris said Jessica got a one hell of a PR person and she know how to get in it. I said, I tell you, Jessica got a lot of surrogates, Jessica says, my hands ain't getting dirty. All I do is hire the hitman. All I do is write the check, but I'm not going to be nowhere around when all the blood gets shed. All these people is used by Jessica. Jessica is the brains behind the operation. She's the mastermind. Check out my other video. I went over it. But for right now, the crimes have been committed. Everybody's been arrested. Everyone's been brought in to the police station. We are now holding Maurier in jail. He's calling in from jail. He's in the jailhouse lawyer. Chris was able to get out on bail because he had enough money to bail him out. And as Jessica said, you can't buy me. Well, but Chris bought bail. Chris was able to post bail, so he's out on bail. But Maurier couldn't post bail, and Jessica wouldn't put up no money for him, so he's going to have to dial in from the jailhouse. I'm going to be the judge. I'm going to say that Crystal XO, she can be the bailiff. Chris Luxo can be the bailiff. I'm the judge. Messi Maurier is a jailhouse lawyer calling from jail. And Chris, he was in jail, but he posted bail. Chris could post bail because he had enough money to buy Lee some Versace sandals. And Maurier was mad. I think Maurier is secretly jealous of Chris, to be honest with y'all. After watching this video, because even at the end, Chris was like, so asked him a question like, why are you so mad? Why are y'all beefing? I mean, I can understand why Jessica and Chris are beefing. And thank you, Bailiff Chris Alexo. Thank you, Bailiff Chris Alexo, because I'm going to tell you, Maurier is mad that he was runner-up to Chris. Maurier is mad that he was runner-up to Chris. But we're going to get into it. Let's get into this trial because this is what these people want to have. This is what the Klan always wants to have. They want to have a trial. Let me give it to them. Let me give them the trial. Let's get going. We're going to bring Maurier in. Maurier.
What's up,
Maurier?
What's up, lying ass boy?
Hey, I'm a man. Don't call me boy. Don't play like that.
You're a boy, bro.
Okay, hold. Maurier. Okay, order in the court. Order in the court. Bailiff, you need to get control of your courtroom. Your courtroom. The jailhouse lawyer is coming in, calling people a lying ass boys. Lying ass boy. Order in the court. Order in the court is getting messy already. Wait, Maurier.
Keep going.
Hold on. Okay. First of all, welcome to the show.
Man, you know, right. Man. Come on.
I'm sorry.
How we gonna have a conversation? You don't come at me like that,
bro. You literally just called me. You just called me Messi Maurier. Chill out.
No, she called you Messi Maurier, but you really are though.
Okay. We got the first accusation, y'all. We got the first accusation, and it looked like they brought me into it. Do I need to recuse myself? Isn't that what they call it when you part of the trial, but you also the judge? I am recusing myself. I am not recusing myself because it looks like thank you Chris Najee. He's what the first accusation is that Messi Maurier says Chris is a liar because Chris called him a Messi Maurier, and Chris said, no, I didn't call you Messi Maurier. That woman over there did. That woman over there called you Messi Maurier. So in this moment, I'm going to have to say what the truth is. The truth is, Chris did mention Messi Maurier early in the interview, but he did say that's what somebody else called him on the blogs. And it is true because I'm here to testify. So I'm gonna be the witness now. I'm here to testify. Yeah, I called him Messi Maurier. I called him a Messi Maurier all season long. It was me. So in this particular situation, I'm going to have to say that Maurier is a liar because Messi Maurier is saying what Chris is saying isn't true and is absolutely true. I was the one that said it. And so I'm going to have to say in the truth meter, I'm going to have to give it to Chris because Chris said, no, that woman over there said it and that woman is me. And if we can't convict people on what other people say, because later on, if we going to start convicting Chris for calling him Messi Maurier, then we might have to convict, if we're going to convict Chris right now and give him a lie point, then we might have to later on have a problem with Maurier repeating the word combative, right? Because if now we're going to get convicted because we repeated words, then guess what? Messi Maurier going to have to take a strike later on. So right now, we're not going to give Chris a mark because actually he's telling the truth. I said Messi Maurier. And he said early in the video, yeah, that woman over there called you Messi Maurier. And I thought it was catchy. It is catchy. Messi Maurier is catchy. So a lie point for Maurier. A lie point for Maurier.
You lying again. You lying. You're the only person that's been shown as a liar on TV. When you
okay, we got to stop right there. Another accusation by Messi Maurier. He said that Chris is the only person who's been known to be a liar on TV. Y'all know that's a lie. First of all, Messi Maurier, we done run down your lies all season long. I'm not going to go over how you work out. I'm not going to go over how you are a Christian, but then you do tarot cards and crystals. I'm not going to go over how you eat healthy. Maurier, come on. That's another lie point for Maurier. Let's keep going.
When you came up to that room, Lee was getting on you. Hold on, let's backtrack.
Keep going.
With all these so-called fake connections that you had, you know you do not have not one single one of them connections.
Okay, he just said that Chris did not have not one single connection. Woo! Another lie point for Messy Maurier. Another lie point because there have been too many people who've already said they had a connection with Chris. With Lee has confessed to having a connection with Chris. Aries has confessed to having a connection with Lee. Katarina has expressed, I don't think I maybe initially having a connection with Lee. Now we all know these connections were not strong connections, but I'm gonna have to give another lie point to Messy Maurier talking about all his connections were fake. We got another point for Messy Maurier. Another point.
Jessica was your real connection all the way up until your ex date. You said.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna have to give another lie point to Messy Maurier. He racking them up, y'all. He is racking them up. He said that Chris's only real connection up until the friend's date was Jessica. Now we know that's a lie. We know that's a lie. We saw the dates with Aries. We saw the dates he had with Katarina. We heard what the women were saying in the ladies' lounge. And Jessica was not his only connection up until the friend's date. Another lie, another lie, another lie. Let's keep going.
Jessica number one. I know that to be true because we shared the same connection.
Okay, then we go on. Here's another lie, another lie, another lie, where he said Jessica was Chris's number one all the way up until the meet the friends date. Another lie. You know why we know it's another lie? Because even Jessica said it. Jessica said that Chris wasn't even calling her. Don't you remember when Jessica came to the office with the lunch and said, "You don't call me," but he was over there calling he was over there calling Lee every single day. Another lie, Messy Maurier. Messy Maurier, you making this too simple. You making this trial too simple. Before long, Messy Maurier, you gonna get life in prison. You should not have represented yourself. You should have hired yourself a real lawyer. You shouldn't have been no jailhouse lawyer. Because I know Jessica put you out here and didn't hire you no lawyer. Did your friend, your leader, Jessica, put you up here to defend her, but with no real facts and figures and lawyers? You don't come up here representing yourself like a jailhouse lawyer because you read a few books. Let's keep going.
Okay. Moving forward. And when the ex day came back, it went to a hard no. All of a sudden.
Yeah, that's true.
Was your number one date up until it didn't start no.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say that that's another lie by Maurier. Because what Maurier is actually saying is he's saying up until the ex date, Chris was all in with Jessica. And after the ex date, it became a hard no. Well, Chris said that's true. But what Maurier isn't understanding, it wasn't a hard no on Jessica's side. It was a hard no on Chris's side. So I'm going to have to give Maurier another point on the lie. Because let me tell you something. Chris was done with Jessica before the ex date. You know why I know that? Because when Jessica came to that ex date, and that ex said she came in loud and all this other kind of stuff. First of all, I didn't think Jessica came in that loud. I'm going to say that for sure. I didn't really think Jessica came in that loud. Sure, I've heard she changed the energy. She came in with a lot more life. But I'm going to tell you that what I believe happened was Chris had already told that ex he wasn't interested in Jessica. Because even on this Chris Alexo video, Chris said, I really didn't want to have the ex meet didn't want her to meet Jessica because he was done with Jessica. He was done with Jessica after she came to supposedly have a romantic lunch date. And instead what they had was a business meeting. Because at that business meeting, Jessica did what she does to everybody. She wrote down her list of things that she wanted you to do. And she wanted you to check off and say you was going to do them. Remember that lunch date? She brought a list because it was supposed to be a date about your non-negotiables or something. And Jessica was prepared for that date. She came in and brought her list of what she wanted Chris to do. And Chris flipped that back on her and said, well, you want me to call you, but you don't call me either. She was like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. That was the only thing that backed her up. But I already know that Jessica loves lists, to-do lists for people, because we already know she gave plenty of them to the producers. She's admitted to it. She's admitted, watch my other video, that she gave producers spreadsheets of lists of restaurants she go to. She gave producers instructions. And earlier in this video, we hear from Chris that she was quite rude to the producers. And supposedly, when I was reading the chat, other people have confirmed that other castmates have said that. So Jessica gives lists to a whole lot of people, a whole lot. She gives people instructions, and she's obviously given Messy Maurier here, the jailhouse lawyer, some instructions, and he's here to execute her instructions. The problem is I'm keeping track of the lies. And let me tell you, right now, he's saying a lot of them. He is a mouthpiece. I guess the muscle ain't here, Janelle ain't here. So I guess he's playing both roles. He's playing the role of the snitch, the mole, and the mouthpiece, since Muscle Janelle isn't here today. Anyway, let's keep going, because he's losing this trial. He is losing. Right now, Messy Maurier is losing.
Everybody in the chat, did that conversation of him even make sense about why Jessica all of a sudden got turned on by him?
Okay, here's another one. He's accusing him of the story that Chris told earlier about. Chris did get kind of wild with the story. He said something about he need to bring a wet sign to the house. He said that he put Jessica in her place, or he told Jessica something. It was Jessica actually who used the words, I guess he put me in my place, because obviously Chris corrected her on a few things on that date. And he told her, you a strong black woman. And earlier in this video, Chris said he believed that turned Jessica on. And then when we were watching, I think when Crystal XO had the interview with Jessica said, well, I guess he put me in my place. So I don't know. I don't know, Maurier. I don't know if maybe she was turned on by it. She might have been turned on by Maurier, but you know what? I'm going to not just say that Chris is a lie, because in a lot of ways, the story he told about her liking it could be true. Because remember, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to give Messy Maurier a lie point. Because I'm just remembering now what Jessica said. At the end of that lunch date, go back to anything you heard of Jessica. Jessica says it was a good date. Jessica says it was a good date. And I was thinking to myself, how did Jessica think that was a good date? That was a horrible date. Which tells me Jessica didn't even read the room. She didn't read the room. So you know what? The fact that Jessica thought it was a good date, and the fact that Chris has said he didn't think it was a good date, you know what? I'm going to have to give Messy Maurier another lie point. That means, yeah, Jessica was more wet in the pants than Jessica was more wet in the pants than Chris was. Because if she's classifying it as a good date and Chris is over here saying that it wasn't a good date at all, I had to check her, then you know what? Yeah, I'm going to say that Jessica did get turned on. Another point for Messy Maurier. Another point for Messy Maurier.
Jessica's narrative is pushed that she is...
Go back and listen to what she said about that date when she said, I kind of like...
We heard your lies already. We got to clear all this up with you.
Hold on, hold on. Chris, let Maurier talk.
Okay.
Yeah, let's debunk this stuff real quick. So you mean to tell me an individual who is being called by both men and women, everybody, that she shows no emotion, no expression. Meanwhile, you were somehow, some way able to turn her on by calling her a strong black woman. That don't even make sense, Chris.
Messy Maurier, I'm gonna give you another point and my answer to your question. Can I answer the question? Can I answer the question, please? Can I jump in and answer the question? I'm gonna say yes. See, Messy Maurier, Messy Maurier has never had a woman become turned on to him like that. See, to Messy Maurier, this is unfathomable, because women just don't walk up to Messy Maurier and get wet in the pants. Women just don't walk up to Maurier and get wet in their panties. And so what he's saying is, how in the world could a woman like Jessica, who we all know, in fact, he threw his own boss under the bus. He's supposed to be out here defending Jessica. He just threw her on the bus. He said, how can Jessica, who don't show no emotion, no PDA, because remember, Jessica told Maurier, I don't do PDA. When Jessica was up there in the room doing yoga, she told Maurier, I don't do PDA, because Jessica don't really want to kiss on Maurier. She don't really want to do it. She just want to use Maurier. So she done told Maurier that she don't do no PDA, no nothing. And so Messy Maurier is coming here. Messy Maurier, the jailhouse lawyer, is coming here saying, wait a minute, here's a woman that's not nice, not sweet, won't talk sweet, doesn't do no PDA. And you telling me that when she was at your office, she got wet in the panties just because you called her a strong black woman? Yeah, Messy Mario, that's what it happens when a woman comes up against a real good looking man. I know you ain't never been there before. I know you never had a woman look at you and be like, get hot and bothered. But let me tell you, it happens to Chris all the time. Messy Mario is confused. But let me tell you, Messy Mario, if you confused, you need to ask questions. So I'm going to have to give you another lie point, because what you should have asked was a question. Just because you don't know about it don't mean it don't happen. Mario ain't never been in them type of situations no more. Chris said, yeah, that shit happened. Woo, this is funny. Mario ain't going to get life in prison. This is why you shouldn't defend yourself, y'all. If you ain't got no money for a real attorney, then at least get you a public defender. What Maurier should have done was he should have used a Scorpio Mo here. Scorpio Mo is sitting here with nothing to do. Maurier should have said, can I hire you to be my public defender? Because I'm losing this trial as being a jailhouse lawyer. Woo, this shit is funny. Let's keep going.
That lie don't even make sense. Let's put it together. Let's fast forward. She was your number one connection over every single person.
Okay, another one, another lie. She was your number one connection over every single person. You know Jessica told Maurier to say this. Why is Maurier so intent on making Jessica Chris's number one connection? You gotta ask yourself, why is he so invested in this? Why is it that he's so intent of making Jessica Chris's number? Why can't she just be one of his connection? Why she gotta be the number one? You know why? Because a Messy Maurier wants to feel like he beat Chris. Because he know in the real world he can't beat Chris. Head to head, one-on-one. I don't care what y'all say about Chris, whether you think Chris is a liar. Put Mario out in the world and go head to head with Chris up against some women, and Mario's gonna lose every single time. Period. And Mario knows that. Mario is setting this up as if this is a competition between him and Chris. And it is a competition because Messy Maurier wanted Jessica and Messy Maurier got beat out by Chris. So now he's here to say, no, I'm beating you out in the end because in the end, Chris, you got eliminated and I'm still here and I'm going to end up with the girl. I beat you out. You didn't drop the girl. I beat you out on the girl. A Messy Maurier, go sit down. You ain't got no toilet in that jailhouse of yours to go. You ain't got no bunk bed in that jailhouse of yours to go sit down on. This is ridiculous. Let's keep going.
You did not have no Katarina in there. You didn't have no Aries in there. You put Lee in there towards the end.
Okay, another lie for Maurier. He did not put Aries and Katarina and Lee into his connections at the end. Good Lord, this is an obvious lie. Another point for Maurier. Let's keep going.
Now, get to the house trip. Did you or did you not walk up to me secretly on your phone, text me, and saying, hey, man, I don't know what I'm going to do about Lee. I'm losing him. Did you or not write him out to a false?
If I take, yeah, because I told you, I just said, I just said, you need to go
Okay, here's the lawyer. Did you not answer the questions? Yes or no, yes or no? Well, actually, he already said it earlier. He already said that he told Maurier, you messed up my connection with Lee. But let's listen to Maurier's little, this is ridiculous. This need to be on a TikTok video of don't ever defend yourself in court.
Can I answer the question?
Let him answer.
I just say, I said, Maurier, go and tell this one what said because you messing up my situation.
Bailiff, order in the court. Let him answer the question, Messy Maurier. He just said, yeah, he said it. But you want a yes or a no? No, Maurier, sit down. Let him finish. He just admitted that, yeah, he said it. So what's the controversy? Like I keep telling you, this is what Jessica and their clan like to do. They like to get down in the minutia of things. They like to parse these words so it can look like they're the real person that's the only one telling the truth. He just said, yes, he did it. He went to you and he told you that you messing my connection up with Lee. But Maurier, you just said that he didn't even have no connection with Lee. So it can't be both ways. In one way, you here trying to convict him of telling you messing up my connection with Lee. But then the other way, you're saying he never even had no connection with Lee. Messy Maurier can't even keep track of his own damn lies.
No, we're talking about I'm talking about two completely different things. This was the note that you put on the phone before. This is the first day. We in the kitchen. We standing in the kitchen. You typing a note because we had a thing about the burgers on the grill.
You know Mario gonna be in the kitchen eating some burgers. You know every scene of the crime there's gonna be some food involved. He said we was typing on the phone, we was texting back and forth burgers. Remember them burgers? Yeah, Mario, we know some burgers and we know you didn't want no cheese on it because like I said, I know your fast food order. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's hear the accusation, what he's saying about, because Chris has already said, yeah, I did say that to you. Now, Messy Maurier, so I ain't going to give Chris no lie point because he said, yes, I did say that. So no, Maurier said, no, not that time. I want to go back to another time. Not the time that you was in the room, but the time that you was up in the kitchen. Maurier saying, once again, you told me something in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and hear a Messy Maurier out.
We know we mic'd up. We can't talk. It's me and you in the kitchen. Did you or did you not do that?
Say that you're messing up my connection. Yeah, you was messing up.
No. You're talking about the bedroom, and I'm going to clarify that lie too. We're talking about inside of the kitchen. In your phone, did you or did you not text me about, bro, I don't know how I'm going to do with Chris, with Lee? Yes?
In what manner? What was I trying to articulate if I said that?
You were asking to see how can you create a connection between you two?
No.
Because you know it wasn't there.
Okay, once again, Messy Mario say, did you or did you not say that in the kitchen you messing up my connection? And Chris said, yeah, I did say that because I did feel like you messing up my connection. So it ain't good enough for Maurier. It's still not good enough for Maurier. Maurier don't like the answer. Even though he got his yes, he still don't like his answer. So at this point, for combative Maurier, I'm going to give him another point because the witness, who's Chris at this time, has answered the question and he has said, yes, I said it. Let's keep going.
Hold on, no, answer the question. Did you or did you not do that?
Hold on. This ain't even get nowhere with this conversation.
I just need a yes or no.
Me and Lee had a connection before we got to
Stop beating around it. That's not the question I just asked you.
Bro, you can't just set me up and then just gonna say, did you say this?
Yes or no.
Maurier, let's because I don't think y'all are gonna get a.
Well, this is what Messy Maurier said. He's saying that there was a text that went back between him and Chris and Maurier. Chris has already admitted, yeah, I did it. So we already know there was a text. That's not what the point is. Now what Messy Maurier is talking about is what was the intent of the text. That's what he's getting to right now, people. This is why I'm telling you, don't get down in the mud with these people because they're liars and they like to get muddy and they like to parse words. Chris has already said, yeah, I said that to you. Now what Maurier is trying to get him on because he didn't like that he said yes. He didn't like that Chris was truthful and said, yeah, I did say that to you, that you're messing up my connection with Lee. Now what Maurier is going to say, no, it's the intent of your text. So Chris is saying, well, what was the intent of my text? Maurier is trying to say that the intent of the text was that on the retreat, that Chris was trying to create a connection with Lee. And Chris was saying, no, I wasn't trying to create a connection with Lee. I was trying not to lose my connection with Lee because we all saw that the connection with Lee was getting lost because of what went down between Jessica and Chris and how Jessica and Chris was going back and forth about it, and Lee was turned off by that, or for whatever reason that Chris was losing Lee. But the point isn't that Chris was trying to create a connection with Lee. The point is Chris was trying to save a connection with Lee. I do believe that. I do believe Chris was losing Lee and he felt that and he was trying to strengthen the connection. But this idea that he was trying to create it like it never existed and Chris is trying to rise it up from the ground and build it from the ground up, that's a lie. That is absolutely a lie. So another lie point to Messy Maurier. He's trying to get down in these weeds. He's trying to parse these words like a lousy jailhouse lawyer, and he's losing. I told Chris he ain't no match for these people, and that was no shade on Chris. Let me tell you, Maurier, Jessica, Janelle been doing this for a long time. They're really, really good at it. And if I wasn't able to stop this tape as much as I am right now, I would miss a lot of this too. Because they talk so fast, they do so many twists and turns, ups and downs. Ain't nobody got time for gymnastics with these people out here. Don't get down in the mud. You're going to come out dirty, bloody, and bruised, even if you are winning. Because right now, on this lie meter, Chris is winning. He's winning. Messy Maurier is the one losing. But Maurier is talking as if he's coming from all these positions of strength, that he's out here winning this case. Boy, you about to get life in prison. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm going to give Messy Maurier a point for saying the boy's lying, because he actually didn't lie. He admitted to doing it. He admitted to sending you the text. He admitted to telling him that, hey, I'm trying to get, you making me mess up my connection with Lee. He admitted all that. What Messy Maurier wants Lee to admit to is that he was creating a connection with Lee. And Chris is saying, no, I'm not going to say that I was creating a connection with Lee. Was I trying to save a connection? Yes, but I wasn't trying to create one. He knew he was trying to save a connection because he went out and got them pink Versace's. He knew he was trying to save it.
What do you say to the fact that a lot of people have said that you had an alliance with Jessica and Janelle? Because a lot of people have said that. And we see you and Jessica saying that there's a connection, but we don't really see it. We haven't been able to see it. I understand editing has a lot to do with that, but I want to hear from your mouth. What is your perspective on that?
Okay, so now we look like we got a little reversal. Chris is off the stand, and we're now putting Maurier on the stand. And the first question is, what do you have to say about what everyone is saying out here in the streets, including me, that you have an alliance with Janelle and Jessica? What is your answer to all of these people out here who say you have an alliance with Janelle and Jessica? And let's hear Maurier's answer.
I honestly would say Edis played a role with everybody, not just me. In real time, my very first date was Janelle. Out of everything, out of group.
First of all, I'm gonna do him just like you did, Chris. Answer the question. Answer. We're not talking about dates. We're not talking about who you went on a date with, who you had a connection with. We're asking, did you have an alliance? Okay. He wants to badger Chris. This is what these people want to do. They want to badger you, but they don't want the shoe put on the other foot. For his first question, he sat here now for almost how many minutes? 10 minutes badgering Chris. Answer the question, yes or no, answer yes. And the minute he gets one question, he ain't answering it. What about the alliance, Maurier? Answer the question about the alliance. Not dates, alliance.
Dates out of individual dates. My very first date was with Janelle. Okay. My second date was with Aries, I believe.
Answer the question. We're not asking about dates. We're asking about alliances. Answer the question, Maurier. A point for Maurier, a lion point for Maurier. I'm marking him because someone's asked a question. He ain't answering it. We're asking about alliances, not dates. He ain't answering. He gonna get another point.
Mm-hmm. My third date might have been a group date, I want to say. But I say for the most part. So like Sierra, they showed me and Sierra's first date. Me and Sierra did not actually have that date until like after the hold down. So like even that was like.
Okay, you know what? I can't even keep listening to these lies. I could just be marking them all up, whatever, because he's not answering the question. But I'm going to give him another point because the dates don't mean connections. So he's lying. It's a lie within a lie. First of all, the question was about alliances. You didn't answer that. I'm going to give you a lie point. Second point is you're talking about dates and connections. They're not the same thing. Dates are connections. You did not have a connection with Janelle. Stop it, boy. Stop it. You want to call Chris a boy. Stop it, Maurier. You did not have a connection with Janelle at all. So I don't even know why you're trying to act like you did. Get out of here. Let me fast forward through this talk because he ain't even answering no questions. He ain't even answering the question, y'all. He all over Chris the whole time about not answering the question. He not even answering the question about was there an alliance. Talk on it. Ooh, let me fast forward.
And you did deliver the word combative. Did production tell you to deliver the word combative?
Yes, and Chris knows that.
Okay, let's stop it right there. Finally, we get into some good stuff about the big hot word out here, combative, and what Crystal Exo, the bailiff, has said. Let me jump in here and ask a question. She said, you did deliver the word combative to Jessica. And did production tell you to do that? And Maurier says yes. Maurier said it was production who told him to deliver the word combative. Everybody hear that? It was production. But then what he did was he should have just left it there. He said, and Chris knows that. He said, Chris knows that. Let's see how Chris responds.
So let me ask you. No, I don't know that.
You know what? I'm gonna give another point to Mr. Maurier, because I do believe production told him to say it. I do believe that. But I'm gonna give him a point where he says, Chris knows that. I don't believe it. I don't believe that Chris knew prior to Messi Maurier delivering that speech that Chris knew that Maurier was told to use the word combative. I don't believe it. I don't believe Chris knew that fact. So another point for Messi Maurier, lying.
He's talking to me. He's talking to me. Because that's the word that you mentioned 4 or 5 times before that moment. That was the word that you mentioned 4 or 5 times before the moment. The same word that you lied and said that you didn't say, that you did actually say. And you said it multiple times. Now, because Chris was talking to me.
Okay, so Messi Maurier has another accusation. He said it because it was the word you used 4 or 5 times before, and now you lied and you said that you didn't use the word. So I'm gonna have to give a lie point to Chris, because we all know that he did use the word. I'm gonna have to give a lie point to Chris, because Chris did use the word combative. He did use the word combative. But we also know in the earlier video, because Chris did confess, and he said, in the lounge, I said that we had a combative moment. We had combative situations. So he said he used that word several times. He did use the word several times. So I have to give Chris a lie point on that. But the part that Chris is parsing the words on, or parsing everything, is that he never actually said that she was combative. He used the words, but the only time he said that she was combative was to her face at the elimination, and also in the confessional that was done way after, I guess sometime around the reunion time. So I'm still going to have to give Chris a lie point, because Maurier is correct in that he used the word combative several times in that men's lounge. And when he was up there in the room with Lee, he did tell Lee that I didn't use that word. I said I needed a softer person, and that was not true. That was not true. Chris absolutely used the word combative. So finally, we got a point for a lie for Chris, in that Chris has denied using the word combative, but yet he did. He used it several times. Let's keep going.
So when we do the actual deliberation, any bubble day, hold on, just for proof. See, a lot of times we just be saying stuff, but we don't be having.
Yeah, go send some more screenshots.
We actually got a screenshot right there. You look close, y'all can screenshot it, record it. On April the 11th, that was the day we were there. In there, y'all look really close. The word combative is in there.
Okay, so Maurier is presenting some evidence. Exhibit number 10A. Exhibit 10A for Maurier. He said, this was the script that was given to me by production. And in that script is the word combative, because it was used several times in the lounge. We've convicted Chris on that already. We've given him a lie point. But he's making the point that it was production who told him he had to use the word combative in his speech, and it's production who's given him this speech. So like I said, I believe him on that. I do believe him on that. So I'm not going to give Maurier a lie point on that, because I do believe production gave him the speech. Let's keep going.
Whether production told you, why did you use that word?
Because that was what was said. So
and it was a collective decision.
Your job, it was the Chris decision. It was the Chris decision.
Wait, but Maurier, how can one person send everybody home?
Okay, well, wait a minute. I might need to give another lie point. Let me back up. Because what Maurier is saying is, what Chris is saying is, even though you got this script from production, you don't have to follow the script verbatim. You could have chosen to edit the script. You wouldn't have been in trouble. There is some leeway for you to use your own words. But what Maurier is saying is, no, I didn't have no choice. I didn't have no choice. I had to use this exact script. And because you, Chris, said combative so many times in the lounge, they put it on this script. And now I have to use the script to say it. So what Maurier is saying is, no, I didn't have no discretion not to use the word combative because you used it, Chris. And since you used it, I had to use it. This is what Maurier is testifying to. Maurier is saying that I didn't have an opportunity to do anything different than what production tells me to do. Well, we know your boss over there, Jessica, don't do what production tells her to do. She already told us that. So I'm not going to give you a lie point because maybe you didn't know you had leeway. But right now, I'm going to say that I don't know if that's completely true because I don't think you have to say exactly what production wants you to say. This ain't no, is this that scripted, y'all? Is this really that scripted where you got to say verbatim every single word? I don't know, Maurier. Okay, here's the next challenge. It was the Chris decision. It was the Chris decision. And what he's saying it was your decision to put Jessica on the bottom. That's what he's saying. It was your decision to do that to Jessica. It was Chris. And so what Chris Alexo is jumping in and said, wait a minute. How can it be one person's decision? One person's decision? Because once again, we are mincing words here again. We are mincing words here again. It is not one person's decision on who to put in the bottom. Chris Lexo is right about that. And what Maurier is saying, it was Chris's decision. It can't be Chris's decision. So that's another lie point. That's another lie point because it isn't just Chris's ability to put Jessica on the bottom. It isn't just his ability. That's a lie. And that's what even Chris Lexo, the bailiff, is jumping in and saying, that's a lie. That's a lie. Chris keeps talking about it was a consensus. It was a consensus. Here's the difference. The consensus was for who to be on the bottom. That was where the consensus was. There was absolutely a consensus for Jessica to be on the bottom along with Sierra. There's no doubt about that. Where there's no consensus is on the word combative. That's where there's no consensus. These are two different things. There's a consensus on who to be in the bottom or who to send home or the bottom. And then there's a consensus on is Jessica combative. There is absolute consensus on Jessica should have been in the bottom. Absolutely. Between Phil, Maurier, and Quentin and Lee, Jessica's going to be on the bottom. That's no problem with that because Jessica doesn't have two votes. Quentin is going to vote for Janelle and Lee not to be there because even though he's in the Janelle, he's not going to vote for Lee to be there. Phil is not going to vote for Aries to be there, right? So Aries has 2 votes, not only from Phil, she's got another vote coming from Chris, right? So Janelle's got 2 votes. Aries has got 2 votes. Lee is going to have 2 votes as well. She's going to have a vote from Chris and Quentin. The only person without 2 votes is Jessica. Jessica only's got 1 vote, and that's from Lion Messy Maurier. So because she only had 1 vote, she's going to be the other one on the bottom. So the consensus was for Jessica to be on the bottom. There was no consensus on the word combative. So I'm going to give Chris another lie point on that because there is no consensus on the word combative that Jessica was combative. No, I don't believe that. Even the other men have said that's not a consensus. Let's keep going.
Yes. So I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna literally explain the whole entire process, everything how it works. So you have 4 men at this moment that are left. We have me. I state my piece. Chris, he states his piece. Quinn states his piece. Bill states his piece. He's the last one there. So in every episode, every lounge, we always say from the top people to the bottom people. That's how it always goes. And we always normally go in the order. In the men's lounge, I can honestly say our lounges, we were normally majority rule. That's normally how the process goes.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. He just contradicted himself. In one way, he said it was Chris's decision, but now he's just saying in the men's lounge, it's majority rule. Can't be both. It can't be Chris and then also majority rules. So I'm gonna give another lie point to Maurier because it can't be both Maurier. Maurier is getting tripped up on his own stories now. First, you said it was Chris's decision, and it wasn't Chris's decision because you just said majority rules in the men's lounge. So another lie point for Maurier.
So we get down to where obviously there's only 4 men left, right? So now we're pretty much an equal in this moment. Just so happens the 2 people that are in the bottom in the moment are both my connections this time, right? Head producer pulls me outside, pulls me away from everybody else. I'm not staying outside. He said, hey, I don't want you thinking that, production has anything to do with this. These are your connections. This decision is left up to you. I said, man, well, hey, it's just left up to you.
Okay, wait a minute. He says he's got 2 connections on the bottom, Jessica and Sierra. He then says production pulls him outside, and production says, I don't want you to think this has anything to do with you because these are your 2 connections. This decision is up to you. Maurier just told us he can't make no decisions. He just told us he has to follow scripts. Okay? Now he says production said, it's up to you. What do you want to do? And Maurier just says, it's Jessica. Is he saying it's Jessica who I want to send home? Did Maurier just admit that when he was voting for someone to go home, he chose Jessica? I think he just said that, y'all. He just said, the producer said, what's it going to be? And Maurier said, it's Jessica. So Maurier voted for Jessica to go home. A point for Maurier. No, maybe I don't give him a point because I'm almost believing it now. I'm almost believing. Because you always know at the end of every movie, the snitch, the lookout person sometimes will throw the mastermind under the belt because the snitch is trying to save himself. And Maurier is losing this trial. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does start not. He can't keep his lies straight. Let's keep going.
I'm thinking that we just going to go back. Somebody else is going to deliver. I don't know if Tom is going to do it. I don't know how this is going to work. Come to the kitchen. Quinn's asking, he's like, hey, so what's the decision? I said, man, majority rules, bro. That's just how it works. Majority rules. So it got to be Sierra. He's like, all right, well.
Oh, look at there. He said, listen to you people. Listen, people. He said after he had the meeting with production and production said, who's it going to be? He said it was Jessica. Then he says he comes back to the kitchen and Quentin says, man, well, who is it going to end up being? Because who's it going to be now? And he says to Quentin, well, majority rules, just like he said before that majority rules. And he said, well, I guess it's going to have to be Sierra. So what he just admitted to was that although he voted for Jessica, majority ruled and it ended up being Sierra. What? Maurier, get to the point. He's so long-winded when he's lying. Get to the point.
So she was like, hey, these are the things you got to say. These are the things that was mentioned. And I'm like, man, why can't somebody else do this? Like, I'm fighting. I'm like, man, hey, go get the head producer. Bring him up here. Like, yo, get somebody else to do this. I don't want to do this. Okay. We're going back and forth just about doing it, right? Mm-hmm. So now.
Okay, here he goes again. He's saying he got to say everything verbatim that they wrote down, but yet he just told us earlier that he gets a decision. Because they said we don't want you to think that we doing this to you. But now all of a sudden he ain't got no decisions. Earlier he had decisions, but now he ain't got no decisions. He's got to say everything verbatim. Maurier is a liar, people. That's why I don't know why people don't see his inconsistencies in his stories. Let's keep going.
It's already a hard situation. You're nervous. You're on camera. You're doing all this stuff. So now I'm trying to remember everything that's said because I have to say this verbatim. Even down to, as y'all can see on the notes, who you got to call first. Literally, who you have to call first. So this was said about Jessica. This is said about Sierra. I have to mention everything that's said about the men because I can't be in this space. I can't say, hey, it's so-and-so. Hey, it's so-and-so that said this. Hey, so-and-so says this. No, you have to say the men feel that you are tall. The men feel that you are pretty. The men feel that you are cool. The men feel that you are combative. In this space, I knew, yes, to Chris's point, I did know that there was a triggering word.
Oh, well, good Lord. There it is. There it is. He just said, to Chris's point, I already knew that that was a triggering word to her, but yet you still going to say it just because production told you to say it. You know what? Maurier wanted Jessica. Is this a case? You know what happens when criminals do bank heist crimes together. One of the reasons they like to separate the people in the witness room is because what they're hoping is one of the persons will turn on the other person, because what they're hoping is that behind the scenes there's some resentment that's built up. Maybe it was when they was like doing the heist or committing the crime, maybe they didn't agree, and they're hoping that one of the other persons will turn on the other persons. Maurier is actually starting to turn on Jessica because Maurier is slipping up here, y'all. Maurier is slipping up here right now. He is slipping up. He just said he knew that the word combative would be a trigger word for Jessica, but yet he's going to say it anyway. And I'm telling you right now, he just said he voted for Jessica to get kicked off. He just said it. He just said, I voted for Jessica, but since majority ruled, it had to be Sierra. Maurier is a liar. Let's keep going.
And why would you say,
for me, like I said at the house in front of everybody, that it was a Freudian slip. Chris knows this to be true because I said that in front of him in the kitchen.
A Freudian slip, and he said, do you know what a Freudian slip means? A Freudian slip means that in the back of your mind, you really think it, but it accidentally slipped out and you didn't want anyone to know it. So the fact that he just said, me calling Jessica combative was a Freudian slip. Well, you said it was a script from producers. Now it's a Freudian slip. It can't be both, Maurier. It can't be a script that you were forced to read and you couldn't change any word, and now it's a Freudian slip. A Freudian slip means you believe it, Maurier. Does he know is he a jailhouse lawyer and he don't know what Freudian slip means? I don't care. I'm giving him a lie point. Because what a Freudian slip means, you believe it in the back of your head, but you don't want other people to know it, but it slips out of your mouth. So he actually believes that Jessica is combative, and it was a Freudian slip. Another point for Maurier. Jessica, your surrogate is falling apart. Your surrogate is falling apart.
Okay, so you did look like, man, I messed up.
I messed up, and I took accountability for it multiple times. I messed up by saying it. I did not plan to say that word.
Well, wait a minute. How could you mess up by saying it when you just said it was a script? If you said it, no, you didn't mess up. You did exactly what you were supposed to do, Maurier. If you were supposed to read the script by verbatim like you just told us, then how all of a sudden now is it a Freudian slip and a mess up? It ain't a mess up. Another lie for Maurier. Which one is it, Maurier? Was it a script that you had to read? Is it a Freudian slip? Or is it... Woo! Or are you really remorseful that you messed up? What a liar. What a liar. Another point for Maurier.
But let me ask you this, Maurier. Just being honest. Was Chris the only man that felt that way about Jessica in the lounge?
Yes.
That's a lie, bro.
Who else? We can call
all
other
felt
brothers.
like that.
We can call
all
other.
of us. You
Who's
can call
the
us.
other
We
person?
all felt like that.
Who's the other person?
Whether you gonna say it.
Who's the other person?
I
Chris?
said all, brother.
Okay, so that be feeling
The whole
quick.
enchilada.
All right, let's get them on the line.
Well, I'm going to have to give him a lie for that because he just said it was a Freudian slip. It was a Freudian slip that he used the word combative. Freudian slip means you believe it. So when Chris Lexoja said, was Chris the only one who believed in the lounge that she was combative? And he said, yes. He's saying, you can bring all the fellas in. You can bring in Quentin. You can bring in Phil. Well, no, we don't need to bring them in because you just admitted you thought it. A Freudian slip means you believed it, but it slipped out. So we don't need to bring in Phil and Quentin because Chris said he believed it, and now you're telling us you believed it because it was a Freudian slip. Oh, this man, life, y'all. He about to get life in prison. Life in prison. Okay, I'm going to have to give Chris a lie point. He said we all felt that way. I don't think they all felt that way. I don't necessarily think we don't have no evidence of that. We only have evidence that I believe now that Chris felt that way, and I'm starting to believe that even Maurier felt that way. Maurier don't even like his boss. Maurier doesn't even like his boss. He up here got to do what she say, but he don't really like her in the background because really, like I said, this really isn't even about Jessica with Maurier and Chris. This ain't about Jessica. You know who this is about? This is about Chris. This is about Maurier all his life losing out to women from men like Chris. This is Maurier deciding, this is my opportunity to get back at a man like Chris who gets all the ladies out here. The ladies fall at his feet. The ladies want to do whatever he wants. No matter what Chris does, Chris can boss these women around, make them his slaves, do whatever they want. But these women still want Chris. And why don't they want me? Here I am running around doing all this lies, bending to their will, doing whatever they want to do. They're using me. But yet and still, here was Jessica. No matter how badly Chris talked about Jessica, didn't want to be with her, Jessica still wanted to be with Chris. This is revenge and jealousy. It's revenge and jealousy on Maurier's part. Maurier is jealous of Chris. Maurier is jealous of Chris. Like I said, this is ridiculous. He's about to get life in prison, y'all. Life with no possibility of parole. Life with no possibility of parole. Jailhouse lawyer. You shouldn't have done it, Maurier. You shouldn't have come here. You shouldn't have come here.
We all felt like that.
Let's get him on the line. Because it's funny with all these things, he got no
like
receipt for nothing.
The women felt like that. The producers felt like that. Everybody felt like that. You
So
chose to say that word, and you knew that was a trigger.
Okay.
No, you knew what it was, because you were trying
chose to
to
say that word, and you knew it was
I'm not going to give Chris a lie point on that because he's saying the women felt like that. I do believe it. I do believe Aries, Katarina, and Lee did believe that Jessica was combative. I do believe that Chris thought Jessica was combative. I don't believe necessarily Quentin said it. I don't believe Phil said it. But I think in the back of the mind, just like Maurier mentioned, that Jessica's combative, I think Maurier believed it too. That's why he said it was a Freudian slip. And I do believe that production had a problem with Jessica too, because anybody who gives me a spreadsheet and tells me what restaurant she wants to go to and tells me what she's not going to do on a reality TV show I'm producing, then yes, more than likely they have problems with her too. More than likely. So I'm going to give another lie point to Maurier because I more than likely believe Chris on this, that there are way more people who believe Jessica is combative than the people who don't. The only people are right now I believe that don't think Jessica's combative is maybe Phil and Quentin. That's it. Everybody else in this cast, the production crew, I believe, Chris, that more people than not believe that Jessica is combative and difficult to deal with. Because even Jessica talked about what she was doing, spinning them producers around. Let's keep going.
That girl is the number one pick. And I said the same thing at the reunion. In your face, right there in front of you. I said the same thing in your face.
Okay, Jessica's not his number one pick. I already gave him a point. I'm not going to give him another one, but he keeps repeating the same old lies. Jessica was not Chris's number one pick. But that's what Maurier needs to believe. Maurier needs to believe that Jessica was Chris's number one pick, because then that helps Maurier say, I stole this woman from Chris. Because all Maurier's life, he's never won no woman head to head with Chris. He ain't never won no woman. He wants to beat Chris. You know, all these men talk about I'm competitive. Maurier wants to beat Chris with Jessica. And the problem is Chris didn't want Jessica. But Maurier needs this to be true. In order for Maurier to feel good about himself, he needs it to be true that Jessica was Chris's number one connection, and that's who Chris really wanted. Because if the story is that Chris didn't want Jessica, then Maurier has to say, then what did I really win? Nothing. I want a woman that nobody else wanted. That ain't a win. Maurier don't want the story of I want a woman that no one else wanted. Maurier wants the story that I beat this man, this good-looking man. I beat this man out here head to head. We went head to head in a dating show, and that woman chose me over Chris. Boy, this is delusional. Is he fit to stand trial? Are we going to have a mental test to see is Maurier even fit to win trial? Because he's delusional if he thinks this.
Maurier, what? Let me ask you this. Why are it's because like I said, I expect the women, we've seen the women fighting back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. But why, what's the issue with the two of you guys?
I'm going to answer this question. It's going to be my last question. Jealousy, Crystal Exo Bailiff. Jealousy. Maurier is jealous of Chris. Maurier ain't up here defending Jessica's honor, because I'm going to believe right now Maurier voted for Jessica to get kicked off. Maurier ain't defending Jessica's honor. No, Maurier is up here trying to beat Chris. He wants to say, I beat out Chris. Because other than that, what difference does it make if Jessica was his number one or his last one? What difference does it make? It doesn't make a difference. It only makes a difference for Maurier. Maurier needs to believe that Jessica was Chris's number one, because then he can say, I stole Jessica from you. Jessica kicked you to the curb for me. I brought her mystical candles. I was the one that agreed with her every time she had something to say. She loves me, not you, Chris. She loves me. And what Mario has seen with Jessica is Jessica didn't handle the rejection of Chris well. She didn't handle it well. She didn't handle it well. And now she out here using Maurier out here doing her dirty work. And Janelle, I tell you, Jessica's one hell of a puppeteer. One hell of a puppeteer. She plays some real good mind games to get these people out here showing their whole tail like this for her honor. You had Janelle talking about, I don't want to pick up the cross of Jessica. What she did. You got a whole lot of people showing their tail to take up for Jessica. You got Janelle over here cussing people out to take up for Jessica. You got Maury over here. He's convicted. I done had the trial. He's convicted. He got life in prison without parole, y'all. It's obvious. The score is lopsided. The score is lopsided. Maurier has told way more lies than Chris. Did Chris tell us a few lies? He sure did. I got some points over here in this column too. But Maurier, he has told way more lies. Way more. And I got to stop the tape. We need to cut this trial now. We've heard enough. The judgment is in. We the jury, the judge, the jury, Deborah, find Maurier convicted on all charges, and we sentence him to life in prison without parole. Bye, y'all.